Hi, my name is Brooklyn, and I am from Grants Pass, Oregon, and I'm new to the podcast. My friend had been posting about ADHD, and I was like in amazement about how many of the symptoms, pretty much all of them, that I had. And so I'm currently trying to be diagnosed, but I'm fairly sure I have it. Anyway, the podcast has been super helpful for me. Almost every episode has kind of like brought me to tears because
Mm.
it's just I resonate with everything, and it's really helping me to cope and understand that this is real and I'm not crazy. But something that I'm struggling with is now I've been opening up about it with like my family, like my dad or my mother-in-law or whoever, and a common response that I get is that everybody has ADHD. Like it's not a big deal. Like everyone deals with it, or people are just not diagnosed. And I just feel like people just treat ADHD like it's not a big deal. Like it's just if you have it, you just can't focus on stuff, but
Mm.
that's just normal. But um, I just don't know how to respond to that. People watering it down and
Mm.
treating it like, it's a normal thing. So I just wanted some advice on how to respond to that comment that, oh, everyone has ADHD. Oh, you're just easily distracted. That's normal. Anyways, thanks for your time and thanks for your podcast.
Oh, honey, I just want to give you a squeeze. I'm so sorry. I can hear the pain in your voice. I just want to say that I'm sorry. And that's not what you deserve to hear. When you're sharing something so personal, it's so vulnerable with the people that are closest to you. That's not what you deserve to hear back from them. And so that makes me upset on your behalf. It makes me feel angry, and it makes me just want to like step in and defend you. And I've gotten several questions that are similar to this. And so I'm really glad that you brought this, Brooklyn, and that you are articulating this so perfectly, because there are a lot of listeners and a lot of people on Instagram who submitted questions that are going through the same experience, just feeling like, when I talk about this, I feel like it's explaining so much about myself. And I feel so excited to have these revelations like, oh my goodness, these things that I've been struggling with, they're not because I'm lazy. They're not because I'm stupid. They're not because there's something wrong with me. It's because I have ADHD, and I can point to that. And like, maybe that means there's a solution, and maybe that means there's help for it. And that's so exciting. And it's such a like an eye-opening, life-changing time for you. And then to be met with such dismissal, to be met with such a demeaning, like, oh, well, everybody struggles with that. Like everybody has ADHD. That's not a big deal. What are you even talking about? That's so hurtful. And so I just want to mirror to you that's actually really painful to hear. And it's also very, very inappropriate. Like that's an inappropriate response. So for those of you, like Brooklyn for you specifically, but for those of you who have friends, family, relatives, coworkers, whoever that are responding in this way, I want to encourage you to not feel invalidated and not feel like, oh, maybe this means that I'm wrong. Maybe this means that like it's not a big deal. Like, don't believe them. You should be mad at them. Like, be angry that they're responding in this way. The appropriate response from us, from the ADHD person who goes to someone with such vulnerability and says like, oh my gosh, I think that I might have ADHD. And I'm learning so much about myself, and I'm going to pursue a diagnosis, and maybe there's treatment that would help me. And maybe I can learn more about myself and some coping skills that will change my life and make everything better and easier for me. And someone dismisses that and says, well, that's stupid. Everybody has ADHD. What's your problem? We should be angry we deserve to be angry about that. Okay. It's inappropriate. That is so inappropriate. Okay. So first, I'm really sorry that you're hearing that from people. And second, I don't want you to believe them. And third, I want you to remember that ADHD is heritable, that it travels in families, and that, yeah, let's say it's your parent and I don't know that you said it was your parent, but let's just pretend it was your parent. You go to your parent and you say, I'm distracted, I'm unmotivated, I'm struggling with emotional regulation, I am, what are the other symptoms of ADHD? Where am I? What is my job? My mind just absolutely left the building. So we'll throw that in, like unable to have an organized thought. And you go to your parent and you say that, and your parent hello, ADHD is as heritable as height. Your parent probably has ADHD. They're like, yeah, so is everybody else. You're like, no, this is not normal. This is not how we have to function. So I just want you to understand that you are probably, if you're talking to family members, it is so highly likely that you are talking to people with undiagnosed ADHD. So for them to validate your symptoms means that they would have to validate their own symptoms. And a parent who does not know how to validate themselves will never be able to validate their child. Ever. It's impossible. So a parent who dismisses their own struggles will always dismiss their child's struggles. It's just this is the way that it works. Okay. And so I want you to think about, for you, Brooklyn, like you're just discovering this for the first time, but I want you to think about the generations of people that came before you, honey. All of the people that came before you that were undiagnosed, that were unaware, that didn't know. Your great-grandparents, your grandparents, your parents, your aunts, uncles, cousins, like whoever it is in your family. This travels in families, my love. Okay? So it's likely, if you have ADHD, that there are many, many people in your family that do as well, but they just don't know. And so I want to encourage you to be a little more self-protective with what you're sharing with people, because it doesn't seem that they are capable of holding your vulnerability with care. And so I want you to be a little more protective of those vulnerable parts of yourself. I'm not saying disconnect from your family. I am not saying, throw a big fit and rage at them. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying tell them that they have ADHD or diagnose that. Like, I'm not saying any of that. What I am saying is notice that they are incapable of validating you, but don't let that make you invalidate yourself. Just be aware that they're not capable. They're just not capable. And so be a little more self-protective. Find safe people that will understand. Come into an ADHD. I almost had come into focus, and like, I'm not trying to make a sales pitch. I'm trying to give an invitation of like, if you need people who will validate your experience, come join Focused. It is the most encouraging, validating, and accepting community that you could ever find. We welcome people with self-diagnosis. We welcome people who are undiagnosed but just curious. We welcome all types of people, and you will never feel invalidated in this space. Okay, anyway. Be a little more self-protective and only share these vulnerable things with safe people, and continue on your diagnosis journey. I'm so proud of you. I'm excited for you. I'm so hopeful for your future. I'm so hopeful that you are like gaining this awareness and this understanding, and that you are pursuing a deeper knowledge of yourself. It's beautiful. It's so good. Brooklyn, thank you for calling in. Thank you. I appreciate you.